It begins with a letter. Not just any letter, but one that carries the scent of threat, control, and something even darker. The paper is thin, almost insignificant, but the words written in a trembling yet confident hand will go on to shake an entire nation. This is the story of one of the most infamous and still unsolved series of crimes in modern history. A story of fear, riddles, and a killer who was never caught. They called him Zodiac. The year is 1968. Northern California rests under a cold December night. In a remote spot, far from the city lights, two young people sit in a car. They've driven there to be alone. Laughter, nervousness, maybe the beginning of love. Then the silence breaks. A car pulls up behind them. The headlights go out. Someone steps out. And within minutes, everything is over. Two lives are changed forever, and a dark shadow has just taken its first documented step into history. It's the beginning of a series of attacks that will spread panic across the San Francisco area. The victims are often young couples, the locations are remote, the timing feels random. And the perpetrator? He leaves almost no trace. But he wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. In 1969, everything escalates. Newspapers across California begin receiving letters, not just threats, but detailed descriptions of the murders, facts only the killer could know. The sender calls himself Zodiac. In one of the letters is something even more disturbing, a code, a cryptic cipher filled with strange symbols. Zodiac demands that it be printed on the front pages. Otherwise, he threatens, he will kill again. And he keeps his word. During the summer of 1969, another couple is shot in a park. This time, the man survives, badly wounded, and gives a description. A white man. Short hair. Glasses. Ordinary. So frighteningly ordinary, he could be anyone. Your neighbor. Your coworker. Or the person standing behind you in line right now. Minimums. But Zodiac isn't satisfied with killing. He wants to play a game. A game with the police. With the media. With all of society. The cipher from the first letter is cracked by a married couple, amateur cryptographers. When they decipher the message, it reveals something deeply disturbing. Zodiac claims he is collecting people as slaves in the afterlife. That each murder is part of something bigger. Something almost ritualistic. Yet at the same time, cold, calculated. More letters follow. More codes. More threats. And with each one, he builds his legend. He taunts the police. Mocks them. At one point, he even calls into a TV show. His voice? Nervous, uncertain, almost normal. But what he says is anything but. One of the most terrifying attacks happens in broad daylight. A couple is lying on a blanket near a lake. They hear footsteps. When they look up, a man is standing there, wearing a strange black outfit with a symbol on his chest. A circle with a cross. Zodiac's mark. He ties them up, speaks calmly, and then he begins. 1 point. It's brutal, personal. And this time, he doesn't even use a weapon from a distance. He wants to be close. He wants them to see him. One of them survives. And once again, the police gain another piece of the puzzle. But it's not enough. It's never enough. The last confirmed attack takes place in San Francisco, in the heart of the city. A taxi driver is shot in the middle of the night. Zodiac even takes a piece of the victim's shirt, which he later sends to the police as proof. It's cold, methodical, and almost theatrical. In the years that follow, the letters keep coming, sometimes with new codes, sometimes with pure threats, sometimes with details that make people question their own safety. Could he strike again? At any time? Anywhere? Double. Police investigate hundreds of suspects. One of the most well-known fits the profile disturbingly well. But the evidence never quite holds up, and Zodiac remains free. Perhaps the most frustrating part? He seems to enjoy it. The attention, the mystery, being a ghost in the system. Decades pass. Technology improves. DNA analysis evolves. Old evidence is re-examined, but the answer always slips away. So who was Zodiac? A lone killer? More than one person? A manipulative narcissist? Or something even harder to understand? .com. And maybe the most unsettling question of all, how could someone get away with this? In a modern world, among ordinary people, right in the middle of everyday life. Maybe that's the answer. That he looked like anyone, moved like anyone. That evil doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, blends in, waits. And somewhere, in archives, in old boxes, in forgotten evidence rooms, the truth still exists, waiting to be found, or to remain hidden forever. The last letter, believed to be from Zodiac, arrives years later. Short, almost indifferent, as if he had already moved on, as if the game was over. But for the victims, for their families, and for everyone still fascinated by the case, it's far from over. Because mysteries like this have a way of living on. So the next time you hear about an unsolved case, or see an old cipher, or feel like someone is watching just a little too closely, remember, some stories don't end. They just fall silent. And somewhere out there, Zodiac may still be a name without a face, a voice without a body, a riddle without an answer.